Thanks for watching Layman Racing Podcast. Please make sure you check out my recent episodes. They're pretty cool. Thank you for watching and thank you for the support and enjoy the episode. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Layman Racing Podcast. Your host, Dalton McVeigh, and your co-host is...
TJ Oglesby.
All right, so we're going to go right into some news here. So TJ's got some insight on some basketball games. My bad.
Yep,
basketball.
So,
go ahead.
my bad. Go ahead.
You're good.
All right. Kings versus Pelicans. Pelicans won 140 to 133. Warriors versus Rocket Ships. 98. Warriors won 105. Thunder versus Timberwolf 116. Timberwolf won 101. Heat versus Mavericks 118. Mavericks won. Heat 113. Clippers versus Jazz. Clippers won 120 to 116.
All right, perfect. And then so I had a little present thing here. So how we're gonna do this is I got a little short video of what happened at Screvens with Hunter Hollis. Unfortunately, he took a little bad roll there at Screvens, and then at the end of the episode, we have it's about 30 minutes ish. So I figured it would be a cool thing to show, but it is the qualifying session of the SCRA Compacts at Screvens at the end with Hunt to the Front TV was hosting it as well. So I thought that would be pretty cool to show at the end of the episode. But here is the Hunter Hollis flip at Screvens.
It looked like something on the right front is away. I don't know if he blew the top the bead, but it looks like a really small tire to be on the right front. It become a little easier once we get and one of the 7 cars.
So that was the Hunter Hollis flip. I'm glad he was all right, and but that was a heck of a flip for sure. That was crazy. Yeah. But all right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and bring on our guest here tonight. He's here to talk about his newly engagement with his fiance and about his racing career and his racing background into the racing community. Please welcome Brandon Crawford.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, Brandon?
Good. How are you?
Welcome.
Good. So, I guess we'll go ahead and kick things off. So, tell us more, tell the viewers more about you and where you're from.
I've been racing since I was probably 14. I started in go-karts when I was younger and moved into the big cars around 18, 19. Ran a classic car. I'm not, that's around here. It's like an old body style, like a 43 Ford body style.
Mm-hmm.
Ran those for a year, got into a street stock for a year, then just decided that, racing was going to be more fun, run a class that's more economical. You know what I mean? Where you don't have to drop the bank just to race. Then we got in front wheel drives in 2000, and that's where we've been ever since. We love it. We've been traveled everywhere racing. We really enjoy it.
And where were you from, by the way?
I'm from Rogersville, Tennessee. It's about, if you're familiar with anything with NASCAR, it's about 40 minutes south of Bristol.
Awesome.
So we're pretty close to the Bristol Motor Speedway. So that's the best way to kind of describe where it's at.
All right, Dalton. So I hear you got in a recent engagement. If you want to talk about that,
yeah.
more.
Delisa's great, man. She's been through my side through a lot of these races in the past year and a half, and actually the first ever race she went to is at a track called 411. It was the Bang Banger Nationals, and we started. I think we started 15th in that race, and we was running third and broke an axle. But yeah, then there was how those big crazy front wheel drive races are. There's fighting everywhere. And she's like, I love this stuff, and she's been hooked ever since. We've been everywhere, and some last year she raced some asphalt races in a front wheel drive that her dad built her. So she got her taste in racing a little bit also. But yeah, we got engaged at the Ice Bowl. It was pretty fun, something different, kind of something we wanted to do at a racetrack. So it's awesome.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to
That's
say
sweet.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Very congratulations, because I feel that too. I just got engaged myself, so
Awesome. Congratulations to you.
thank you.
So obviously, there's sometimes with a few people like they got like a legacy growing up, and they had like something growing up into the family, and with the racing. And was there a legacy that you grew up with going into it, or?
I wouldn't say so much it was the driving side. It was my aunt and uncle, Rick and Peggy. They took me when I was probably 6 months old to a racetrack, and we went everywhere. And I grew up a diehard, until I was probably 13 or 14, a diehard Scott Bloomquist fan. Like he was the man. And I think when I was 9, my mom and my stepdad got together, and oddly enough, his parents, my grandparents, worked for Scott Bloomquist. So they was the ones. I don't know if some of y'all remember, when y'all are probably too young to remember. They used to drive around a little white van selling his T-shirts everywhere they went to. And so I'm sure people that's been around Scott knows that. So I was, I've been a Scott Bloomquist fan since I was old enough to know who he was, pretty much. And I was also, a Freddie Smith fan. Probably in the late '99, 2000s. My grandparents left Scott and started working for Freddie Smith. So I've had that. I've been all over the country. I've actually went to the Hell Tour. It's called Summer Nationals Hell Tour, whatever y'all call it, and that way they call it now. I went through that. It was like 14 races in 16 nights. It was, I was younger then, so I've been about every track around.
What was your most challenge? What was your most challenge? Oh gosh, sorry. What was the challenging moment in the racing sport or going through this sport?
I had a few challenging moments a couple of years ago, and we transitioned. We was running dirt and asphalt both, and I guess it was just my learning curve for asphalt. It's a whole lot different. Like the learning curve is like what you learn in dirt is backwards in asphalt. If you drive a car hard in asphalt, you're gonna wear your tires out. You're gonna get blow by because you're losing all your momentum. Where dirt, you just kind of throw it in there and let the car just act stupid and bounce around. That was a big learning curve, and for me is to learn the transition of how the cars act, especially when I was running both of them the same year. I run asphalt and dirt both, so I never could really figure it out. Like, I had the dirt side figured out, but I couldn't. I would go into an asphalt race and try to drive an asphalt car like a dirt car, and I was burning my tires up, and it wouldn't worth a dang, pretty much.
So what was the feeling with that? Like the different tracks?
I would get where dirt, you don't have it. You don't have as much grip, so your car sacrifices moving around to let your car turn and rotate. Here, with the track that I raced at, they had a new tire called Cobra tires, and they had like a stupid amount of grip. Like it didn't really matter where you was at, you would just haul the car off in there, and it would just sit. And I never could get that feeling to act right with me. Like I never could get the car to turn. Every race I would go, I would put a ton of rear steer in the car, and it would still want to push because hadn't learned yet to back the corners up, let the car rotate itself before I got back in the gas. I was used to like dirt. If dirt the car sideways, you get back in the gas wide open, the car will kind of straighten itself back up. Asphalt doesn't do that. It takes off towards the wall when you do something like that.
I feel you there. Like I was struggling back in 2022 I had a Pontiac Sunfire. It was 2003, and thing is that thing was, I mean, don't get me wrong, the car had it handled the curves perfectly, but it's just like when you went into the corner, it pushed like a dump truck, and I struggled with that the whole year. I even lost a race at the end of the year because it pushed too hard, and here comes, which was Jason Deschler a couple episodes ago. Here he comes on the bottom side and got me at the line, but we had some good races though too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so, what was all the tracks you've been to, and what was your favorite one, and why?
I've been to Talladega. I've been to Cherokee. I've been to Charlotte. I've been to every track in East Tennessee. Volunteer, 411, even Newport back when it was open. Smoky Mountain, of course. Volunteers are home track. It's probably 15 minutes from our house. I've been to Lonesome Pine, which is up in Virginia. I went to Motor Mile, which is in Virginia. And last year we ran at Kingsport Speedway, which is asphalt. Those three are asphalt. My favorite asphalt track would probably be Motor Mile because it's so big. And you're literally, I mean, it took me so long to figure it out. You were flat footed the whole entire time. Like you never take your foot off the gas. The corners, it kind of reminds you of Dover if you ever watched NASCAR. The corners kind of sweep down into a hole. So you literally could just run it off in there and the car would just lay down and just stick. So it was an insane feeling. And my favorite dirt track is of course Volunteer. A couple of years ago they had a guy up there doing in-car cameras and he had a speedometer on him, had a radar detector, and he clocked me going down the front stretch. I think it was 84 mile an hour in a front wheel drive car. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah,
What was your proudest moment?
I've got a bunch. I mean, for myself, I would say 2 years ago at Volunteer, we won the Father's Day race. My dad had passed away a couple of years ago before that, and we won the Father's Day race, and both of my kids were there. So I was like, man, it's that you don't get no better than that. That's kind of like just like the it's okay moment. You know what I mean? Then this last year I got to watch my son win. I mean, you think it's good when you win. Wait till you watch your kid win, and that's
Right.
something that we've worked hard. I mean, we've studied stuff. We talk about stuff all the time, and just to see him succeed at 16, winning against he had a class that was he was one of the youngest ones in the class, and just to see him succeed, that's great. And watching Delisa race and watching my stepkids race, they raced Juice Box, and both of them won it last year. So it was just they were all riding me at the end of the year. There's all three of them was. So I was like, hey, we won a race. Why didn't you win a race? So they got to talk a little crap to me about that, but that was some pretty proud moments. It's just watching my kids and watching my son win. That's a different feeling, like when you win for yourself, you're like, man, this is awesome. I did this. But when your kid wins, you get to watch the process of what he done to get there. And it was a lot of work. I mean, he had to drive hard, but he done it. So that's probably my proudest moments.
Awesome, man.
Awesome.
That's whenever I get a win, like I was saying, whenever I get like a win ever, it's gonna be a great feeling. It's been a long road.
Yeah. It's a difficult thing. I mean, and we bought a car off a guy that was on your podcast, Nathan Goodman. He was a super nice guy to us,
Oh
and we
yeah.
just and Nathan helped us all he could. He just couldn't get the car right for him. And then we finally he raced it and kind of blew it up. And I was like, hey, you want to go a different route? And he's like, yeah. So oddly enough, we bought a 2003 Ford Focus SVT,
Mhm.
and that little thing is mean, and he loves it. Man, he's been pretty much whoever it was between the top two guys usually at Kingsport, and whoever qualified out front would end up winning the race because there was so equal they couldn't pass each other. But they was both really fast.
Oh yeah, and like also the other thing I want to bring up was Nathan Goodman. He's helped me. Like he was actually probably the main reason I got into racing. He's a pretty good guy, definitely.
Yeah, he's very good. Yeah, he's very. I mean, every time I ask him something, if I ask him something right now about a car, he would always help me or kind of figure out whatever it was. He'd always answer the phone whenever I messaged him or whatever. He's a super nice guy.
Oh yeah. All right, TJ.
Question 7 for you.
Oh, it was for me. Okay, hold on.
Yep.
So was there anyone that okay, so I guess I'll put it this way. So was there any early interest growing up like in racing that kind of caught your eye in a sense or inspired you?
Yeah, I would say so because I'm a very competitive person. I wa- I like sports. I like watching football, and I was never too good at football. My brother was the good one, wasn't good in football. It never was me. I was decent in basketball, but I figured out that I mean it's I wanted to be something. I wanted to be where it's very competitive all the time, and you all know from being around racing. Dalton knows from racing that race is competitive every week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what week it is or what track you're at. It's competitive every single week. And that's what really intrigued me because that's what I wanted. I wanted something that's going to push me every single week to be the best driver and be prepared and be on top of everything every week.
Oh yeah, and the thing is about racing, it's like, yeah, the I get winning in everything, and which it isn't. Which obviously I'm still waiting to win something myself, but like just going out there and having fun. That's like my main topic. I like to bring out there, like because
Right. Right.
there's a lot out there that like winning's everything, and to me it's a plus, but being
Right.
able to get out there and run it is just amazing to me.
To me, I always tell everybody, and I tell everybody, I was like, if you hate going to the track more than you like going to the track, refocus yourself. If you're so worried about winning that you hate being at the racetrack, and when you don't win, time to refocus. So your focus is not right. You're supposed to go to have fun and learn, and if you can win, great. If you can't, set up for what you have. And just move forward.
Respect that.
I respect that.
So why don't you tell us about a little bit about your business you run?
Yeah, we have a logistics business. We pretty much we haul anything from transmission parts to medical parts to pretty much anything. We have a 26-foot box truck, and we have a couple of vans, and have a couple of personal cars that people use. So that's pretty much what we do. It's we service Tennessee, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Kentucky right now. That's where we're all at. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We
Awesome.
enjoy it.
So I know you mentioned you had a couple, like obviously you mentioned a couple cars that you've raced in the past, like compacts, and I believe something. I think you said street stock too, right? I believe.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah. Yeah.
Was there any other cars that you raced throughout the years besides those two?
When I first started, we raced a classic. It's pretty much, I don't know if y'all are familiar with classics or not. It's kind of it's like a 43 Ford fiberglass body on a metric frame, like on a
Yeah.
on a G body frame. Pretty much, that's what we ran. And everybody has to run turbo transmission, which is a 3-speed, and a 305 engine, a stock 305 engine. Supposedly, that's why I got out, because these guys are spending $7,000-8,000 for an engine. And I was like, I ain't doing that.
Right.
You know, to win $250. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen.
How important are you and
No, hold on. You
yeah, go ahead, Dalton. Sorry, my bad.
You're good. So how important are fan interactions to you?
More, that's the most important thing. I very I'll do anything for a kid. Pretty much, I kind of let the kids just come around the cars and get in it, and any kind of fan at all. I mean, we got some decals made. We're going to ship out some on Mondays. A couple fans wanting some for their vehicles. So I mean, if you don't have fans, what are you racing for?
Right.
Nobody wants to race at an empty racetrack. That'd be kind of boring.
Oh, it would. It would. Like,
And I like all of them. I like the fans that don't like me and the fans that do like me. They're all good to me, I think.
Oh yeah, and you see, that's the way I look at it. Like, like even I think it was Brett. I think he brought it up, or one of them guys brought it up. A few episodes ago. If you're racing and that there's no fans on the bleachers, what are you racing for?
Nothing. Exactly.
And then let's see. You want to get the next one, TJ?
What would you rather race on, dirt or asphalt, and why?
Asphalt. It's a little. I might get some heat for this one. Asphalt is too political for me. I don't like the political part of asphalt racing. So you know how you know them, when you know them. I don't want to be a part of that. Dirt racing, you're just one of the good old boys. Show up, go race, everybody help you. That's the what style I like, and and the money's decent. I mean, there's decent money. I mean, for instance, last weekend our class paid $21,000 to win. I mean, so there's money.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's money. You're not gonna make a fortune. I mean, if you want to be a million, if you want to be a billionaire, buy a race car. You'll be a millionaire then.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
kind of the saying. But there's I just don't like the political side of asphalt racing. You have to purchase NASCAR license and all that kind of crap. I really don't want to do all that.
Right.
That's their biggest reason. Both
So,
races are fun though. Both styles of racing have their own things that make them fun.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, dirt has its ways of how you throttle control it in the corner, and then
Yeah.
asphalt. I've been hearing it's less traction, more speed, and then
Yeah.
dirt's. I don't know.
The easiest way to figure that out is in dirt, you lose roll speed by spinning. In asphalt, if you lose roll speed, you lose corner speed. So it's kind of keeping the car always rolling. I mean, it kind of sounds stupid, but you don't want your corner speeds where you make it up in asphalt, and dirt is more straightaway speed. I think the two biggest differences.
I mean, I also I talk to Nate here and there, especially when it comes to because I've been wanting to go run the Michigan Cup up there in Springport a couple times, and I was thinking about doing it this year, and I was asking him more advice on that because I never raced asphalt in my life. But
Yeah.
he told me he's like you get more speed, like your car gets to, you get to fly a little faster, but it's but he said something about less traction. But
Yeah.
I probably because it's asphalt and you're
Yeah.
not getting grip like you are on dirt.
Yeah, exactly.
So was there any sponsors you wanted to thank through the years and in this coming season?
Yeah, I mean, I got a list of sponsors. I made sure I wrote them down, so I don't want to leave anybody out. Kerry and Marty Roberts with Churchill Roofing, they have helped me tremendously over the past 3 or 4 years, probably the last 5 years. Crawford Logistics, it's my company, of course. That's what we do. Also, Phillips Trucking Service, Josh Phillips. Me and him do a lot of work together, and every year he writes me a check and says, "Here, go race with this." So also we got Saul Holcomb. He is a bail bondsman here in town. It's the first time he's ever sponsored anything. He's on my car and my son's car, so we appreciate him. Uh, Checker Gear Company. That's something my fiance started. We're making just basically checkered stuff, gear, like cup holders, bags, whatever you want. She does that. Sharp's race cars. Jacob Sharp, he built my race car and he's extremely good. I probably buggy him more than I should, but he's always answering questions. Actually, my car is going there tomorrow to get some more work done to it. It's getting rebodied and everything, get ready for the wrap for it. Lou's Boutique, that's I'm Dixie mother-in-law. She does shirts for us and everything, so she's good. E&E Trailer Sales, that's Bryson Elliott. He actually loan us a trailer to take to the Ice Bowl, new trailer to take to the Ice Bowl. So that we appreciate him. Food City, it's a local food chain around here. Prime Realty by Diana Edge, she's gonna help us out a lot this year. Harlem Estate Sales, it's Melissa Wheeler. She comes in and does estate sales and stuff like that. And of course, the one that makes the car always fast, Jason Waters Tuning. Jason's helped me a tremendous amount on. I'm finally glad he got into Ecotech stuff, so he's helped me a bunch.
I wanted to add in there. So Jacob Sharp and Jason Waters are going to be on in the future as well. So
Nice, yeah.
I got them
Jacob
as well.
Yeah, Jacob's awesome.
So, but yeah, so I can get this last question if you want me, TJ. All right, perfect.
You can go right ahead.
So, if someone was struggling to get in the racing, being a new guy into it, what advice would you give to them to get into the racing community aspect?
I would say find someone that you could trust. Like there's a handful of us, Ray White, Greg White, Jacob, Logan, my crew chief guy. Just find you some guys that has a little bit of experience, and you guys just pick their brain. Anything. These cars are so tenuous that being off one thing can make up 5/10. So just find someone that you trust and that has results that you could look at and say, well, they done it this way. I'm gonna try their way. But I know that a lot of people have this problem. They want to listen to everybody's everybody's explanation of something and try to figure it out yourself. Just finding someone that you can trust and listen to their advice, listen to their setup tips, listen to their driving tips, and go from there. I'll give you a prime example of that. I went to the hospital. I'd never been there before, and I posted a video on Facebook, and Sharp said, if you back that corner up, you get a lot more speed. We went out the next day in a heat race or in the B main, and I started seventh, and I was behind him in 5 laps. And he won the race. It picked up 6 tenths by just listening to what he was telling me how to drive differently. I think that's just the main thing is find you someone you can trust and let them help you and guide you a little bit. Everybody needs guidance for everything. That's kind of the way I see things.
Awesome. Yeah. And you see that that's one of the big main things as well is like I agree on that as well. Like, like I've looked to Nathan Goodman for advice, and he's helped me tremendously as well, as far as where I'm at, and especially with Jason Deschler that was on a while back, our last episode, and he's helped me out in the pits tremendously. He's been a good friend. He's pretty much like family to me, honestly, and like we go out there and we have some good races together. We always put on a show, never touch each other out there, just go out there and have fun. And so definitely. Well, so if there's any comments on or any questions, feel free to bring them up in the comments section or for Brandon here. But was there any questions you wanted to bring up for us possibly?
No, I appreciate you guys asking me to be on here. It's been a pleasure. I'm glad what you all do. I think it's pretty neat. I watch y'all quite a bit, so just keep doing the good work, and it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Hey, I appreciate the support, Brandon. And hey, you have a good night, man. Thanks for coming
on. Thank you.
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you so much.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you.
Take it easy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Brandon Crawford. That was a pretty good interview. I think that was a pretty good one. Anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and bring on that video. So if you guys, I hope you guys don't get too bored, but it is a highlight of the qualifying for Screven's Motorplex. So it is about 30-ish minutes-ish, but guys, have fun and hopefully it's a good one. So I'm gonna go ahead and share that as well.
But I don't know what just happened, guys. Everything will be all right. He should be back on here soon. I don't know exactly what happened, so should be.
Whoop! I didn't know it kicked out. Well, I thought that would work, but gotta love technology, sorry guys. But anyways, so we will have to work on that. I was wondering why it was automatically it was cutting out, and then all of a sudden it started running clear. I'm like, what the heck happened?
Yeah, then it kicked you out, and then it kicked me out.
Oh, did it really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So thank you guys for watching. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to bring those on, but we, like I said, technology, and I don't know why it's not been working. It works before, but anyway, so I appreciate the love and the support for all the people that's been watching here lately. Thank you guys for everything. We finally got almost 40 subscribers on YouTube. We're getting there. I know 40 ain't a lot, but I appreciate it. It's definitely growing. Progress is progress. And then on Layman Podcast, we got almost probably 280 to almost 290 followers. So that's very grateful for that as well. Please share the group, get it out there. And we love the support. And like I said, guys ever want to be on, feel free to jump on feel free to get a hold of me and we can get that set up for you. So the next episode is the 22nd. Looks like CJ Hargett is the next one. But I don't have anything scheduled for the 19th. So the 19th, we will not be having a podcast on the 19th, which is this coming Wednesday. So just a little Wednesday off, I guess. But the 22nd, we'll be right back into it with some exciting stories from CJ Hargett. And the 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then the 26th, guys, we have Jerry Slade. So we're getting close to the Jerry Slade episode as well, which is the brother of Jim Slade, which we had on a while back. So big thanks to everybody that's been showing the support. And we will, I guess we'll catch you next time. Thank you guys for showing up. And let's have many more to go. Thank you.